personal, like the older I get, like the music. So.
Then you also got to pay attention to, we are at the age that some of our peers are now running these companies, and that's the reason why you'll get these songs in the commercials. Because if I'm running Microsoft, and I'm kind of like, I grew up with Young MC, I'm gonna be like, hey, why not a Young MC song in the commercial? Because of who you're appealing to.
Right.
And I think that's why you get the Salt and Peppers and all the rest of that. It's a big resurgent that is kind of like, we are in the driver's seat. We in it. We in the driver's seat. So I think that this is the perfect time to really capitalize on a lot of that. Because
I think both for the artists, but also that's the people buying up catalogs. They see it. They're starting to see these, like, the potential of it all.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I just feel like the industry has been a certain way for so long that they're absolutely terrified to change it. There's no way in the world that you could tell me that the laws and rules that are set up in the music industry are fair for artists. But if you have a happy artist, then he may make records for you forever. And you're just kind of like, but I don't want to give up 40% of my income for the artist to be happy. It's like, you're not thinking, thinking long term. And I think you're going to get to a point that somebody's going to revolt. Somebody's going to revolt. You're going to get to a point that people are just going to be like, this isn't right. You're watching these United Masters and a lot of these other companies that are going to artists saying, instead of signing with a major deal, you come over here, we can give you the marketing, the promotion, and all the rest of that. And what they're doing is it's almost an a la carte service. That is kind of like, we'll give you distribution for 15%. And we'll add another, 10% on for marketing and such and such. But to get the total package, you probably still around a 50%, where as if a major was just kind of like, you know what, we're just going to do 50-50 deals, you have happy artists. It's almost the same principle that I don't understand. The concept of an Uber is genius. All Yellow Cab has to do is take the concept. I'm just like, yo, make Yellow Cabs Uber. Give them an app, let them call, treat them exactly like an Uber, and you won't be fighting this fight. You're mad at Uber because they came up with a really great idea.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with and to add to that, like Ubers and cabs, see, in New York, the money is the medallion. That's the money in New York. The medallion's the money. So if I say, hey, Jeff, you got to give me $500 every month just to drive this cab. Versus with Uber's like, well, we got the company, everybody drive. And that's the separation, and that's why the yellow cab, at least the cabs in New York, because it was the medallion. They paid like, God knows how much for the medallion.
Yeah, and I understand that. I'm just kind of like, okay, Uber came out with a better way to do it. And you're fighting it.
Yeah, and then you're like, why are you paying X money for medallion?
Exactly. And then now even
because
that.
Because it's a game, it's a dirty game.
Exactly. So that's, city-state stuff. The city always got their hands on it. So
that's the record business.
Same.
It's kind of like we don't want to change this. It's kind of like you're part of this club, and you kind of got to function like the club. And it's just now that you get, people like Steve Stout, people like Kevin Lyles that are coming up with these companies and these are people that work for the record companies that are kind of like, oh, I can tell you, everything that you guys are doing wrong, and we just want to fix everything that you're doing wrong. And to me, what it really comes down to is, if somebody like United Masters is controlling all of the popular artists, you're the king now. You're the king now. Like, you got major artists that are really complaining about their deals, you know, and the structure, and you know, you get guys that are like, I've never gotten a royalty check, you know, and this is your kid's favorite artist, that it's like something's not right. You start letting them start talking and start realizing, hey man, I done went to 300 or I went to United Masters and I got this, and now I'm, you know, performing at the Super Bowl or something like that. You know, you're gonna make everybody else say I can go this route.
Yeah. See, to me, the other part of it is that we talk about those percentages and like you were saying, but like to me, Spotify, for instance, what is the percentage that they take? How are they getting away with that? Like, why are they getting away with it?
What else? And I thought that. I thought that too. And I'm like, okay, if I'm an artist now, how do I put out music? Right. That's the issue that I'm going through right now. Like, I got all of this music. How do you put it out now?
Right.
You know, do I just put it out? Okay, if I just put it out, you know, I put it out and I tweet and, you know, and push and put Facebook dollars or something behind it for all of your people to see it. Like, is that it?
Well, I don't know. You got to look around at like your peers and what they're doing and what you want. Like, there's the reason why Spotify gets away with it is because they dangle the accessibility, and we're all of us probably subscribe to some streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because of the tone of certain people when they're like, "Are you on Spotify?" And like, you just don't get it. I can't put mixes on there. They just think that what Spotify does for people is like this instant access to all the music in the world. Right. And it's if you're not on Spotify, like.
You're not popping.
Yeah.
So that they worked hard to, and then it's funny when you go to Apple. I don't have Apple Music. I have Spotify and Tidal app. But when I go to Apple Music, they just say get 50 billion songs for $10 a month.
Right.
It's like that's some funny language, you know.
Yeah.
But they sell you on that concept, you know, and then then you. It's like almost like Columbia Music House or something, but like a digital version. Like, I got it all.
Right, exactly.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and then upon getting that subscription, they don't even allow you to get like main music. Like if it's something that's like that came out, so like they pick a certain amount of music that you can have, that you can actually download. So that's even with that, like it's like so. Spotify and all these outlets are like mainly more for listening, pay to listen, kind of sort of.
So it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like
you don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
Right.
Even when you download a song, you're just putting it in the cache data of your phone.
Yeah.
right.
You don't. You have to convert it somehow. You don't. You just pay for access. That's what.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Pay to play.
It's a cable. It's a subscription
Cables.
service for access. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. I mean, to your point, it's like how do you want to put it out? I mean, I think there are a number of different like the Bandcamp route and the smaller distribution and stuff. There, like you kind of got to weigh the options. Like you don't know if your crowd's gonna buy the music or if they know because who knows. Like you almost have to go release by release or watch other people in your circle see who's making it work. When I see some smaller labels, like they find a really good way to build up the hype in their smaller circles, you know. But one thing's for sure. It's not common for people to go and buy digital music anymore, but you can make it common, or you can bundle it with other merch and say this is what it is, or you sell a record or something like that. I think there are ways to do it, but
Do you sell a lot of physicals, Terry?
I'm starting to. I'm getting back into selling vinyl again, and of course the merchandise. But see, it's funny. We've had that conversation before. So I got essentially 3 labels. One label that's just kind of T's Crates, which is more just tracking stuff. Then I got Mirror Bar that kind of represents the whole gamut, and then T's Box that I've had. But the problem with that is that everybody say go to Bandcamp. They don't take any money on Fridays. This, that, right? Then I hear people say, "Oh, TrackSource, Beatport take too much of your percentages." The problem with that is, for my followers, they're not really shopping at Bandcamp like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They're going to TrackSource.
yeah.
So, do I go to Bandcamp and try to push it, lose money until it catches up?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna lose the quality of the records that I'm making, because in the door when we come in, I got mix, master, musicians, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You can't do both?
What you mean?
You can't put it on Bandcamp also?
No, it's on. I have all my stuff on Bandcamp, but the problem of it is the traffic is not going
Yeah.
to Bandcamp for me, for what I do. So that's what I'm basing it off of. Like, okay, but I still gotta feed this Beatport track source situation. You know what I mean? And then it's to talk about, everybody's like, hey, I put out and sell 1,000 records. I make X, Y, and Z off of that versus what you put out digitally. The hell, if you ain't getting your records back 4 months to 6 months later, that don't balance out.
There's some of it's like about like the amount. Like it might only be 5,000. You might only be looking at making $5,000 a release. If you sell 1,000, you make 5 on each or something like that. Doesn't sound like that much money, but if you put out 10 releases or something like that, it could be there. I still think it's good to just kind of look around at other people like you in the industry who do have it popping. So you kind of say, okay, what did they do? Did they release a record? Did they release like a T-shirt? Like I see in the rap world, there's all these like the Griselda records, like the Benny the Butcher and all that. They put out, and Alchemist, they put out these drops, and people treat it almost like Supreme or some shit. You know what I mean? Like they're like,
really?
Yeah, I need to get. DJs don't play the records, but I need that rare splatter blood vinyl, 5,000 copies. They sell that shit out but because they've conditioned like a certain type of buyer, and just like anything else, it's like just knowing your market, I guess. So I don't. In your case, Jeff, I don't know. I don't know if that would be the route, unless if you chose a specific thing, but maybe you, instead of that, you give people all the access. You say, okay, I don't need to make $5,000 on this record. I'd rather everybody be able to get it on Spotify.
I got a solution for it, right? Mm-hmm. And I have been noticing this, and you talk about watch and see what your peers is doing. That's such a great example. And let's take exactly what we're doing right here. Mm-hmm. Look how we come together. I've been knowing what this man do forever, but I've never had the opportunity to even meet him, let alone work with him. But somehow, my fan base now knows who he is. His fan base knows who I am. And I've just seen it from this weekend, from the messages I've gotten, from the followers I've gotten, from all of that. And so, I see a lot of people do these talks, and I'm not talking about us, because obviously we're sitting here because of you, Jeff. It's your birthday, but you have done this. Your track record is proven with getting these group of people together. You know what I mean? And so this is really the only time I see this group of people consistently get together. We have to collab more. It's just about collaboration. Because if we put something out, if I do something with you, Skratch, somebody's gonna pay attention. And if we keep it going, it ain't gotta be consistent like Jeff and Skratch is constantly doing this record, but all of that is going to help build it.
I think so.
It has proven it this weekend.
And you gotta build. You can find ways to build consistency. That's what I see. People that do it the same way. And this is something like Nick Bike with his thing with he got his releases. He's just consistent every month.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's what really works. Like even a guy like Knowledge, that guy NKNXW, like his Bandcamp is popping because he's always putting stuff out. And then as soon as he puts it out, people do it. So whatever you do, you gotta kind of. Because people really follow the consistency, and that's the thing with like the subscription service and stuff, and the monthly events. People are used to now. Think of how many subscriptions you have in your life, and some people are like, "Oh, there's too many subscriptions," but that's actually just how people are. People do things on a consistent basis. As an artist, that's always almost like a scary thing because art is art and doesn't happen on a clock, you know. But you could, as best you can, you try, and then. When you're doing stuff, then you say, okay, January I'm gonna do my thing. February I'm gonna collab with so and so. You kind of like you can time it out and stretch it out. But I think and also the news cycle happens so quick that if you space it out too much, there's just too much time in between. So you kind of gotta trickle it over. I saw an interesting thing happen with that Lady Ray record, the Nicole Ray on Big Crown. The way that they did it, and I was wondering, because every single she put out, the label Big Crown would put it out, and then the second single they put out on streaming would be put out as a single, but the second song on it was the last song they put out.
That's
And then
right.
the third single out, it would be like a mini EP. They call it a waterfall single. So every single that they put out, the next track, it would almost be like slowly adding tracks to an EP.
That's genius.
I am taking that.
It
That's
is.
genius.
Waterfall single. So they do it once a month. They're putting out tracks, and then when you push play on it, guess what happens? It goes down the list of the songs. So they're more gaming the system, you know.
Wow.
So that's
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 good,
an
they're
example of
stacking
like
it, yeah.
watching
Wow.
that song.
You know what's funny is I watched Bruno Mars put out his album, and his album was huge, but he did something that I wasn't used to seeing. By the time the Cardi B record came out, the single came out, I was like, this is amazing, because that was like a throwback record. I thought it was a new record. I didn't realize that he released every song on his album as a single.
Oh, really?
That was 2 years after his album came out.
So when he released it as a single, did he do anything to it? Remixes
Oh no,
or extended?
well, I mean, he did some
Cardi B on it.
remixes
Put Cardi B on
and
it.
all the rest of that, but it was kind of like, wait, so this is the same album that you came out with 2 years ago and blew up, you know? And what it is you're used to record companies tossing your, you know, I don't even want to necessarily say record companies. We're used to tossing things in the trash because we think they have played out. It's you know, I've worked with people that went into the studio and rehearsed performing a record and got tired of it and went on stage and changed it before the first show. And everybody is just like, I came here to sing the song that you made and you changed it because you're tired of it because you heard it over and over again. So a lot of times we don't even have the patience to last out something like that. That, you know, that was an example. The Salt thing was an extreme example for me that I'm kind of like, who owns the label that puts out an act that doesn't shoot a video, that doesn't take photos, you don't know who's in the group? Like, I'm like, yo, that's a music person. You are writing this whole project on on this art. You're not looking for, you know, it was that whole thing when they were saying if Stevie Wonder came out today, he would have never made it because no one would have accepted somebody blind. Like, you got to have an hourglass shape, you know. They wouldn't have accepted Aretha Franklin being a little bit bigger than the average, you know, singer.
That's crazy.
That is kind of like, so to do what Salt did, that we're having debates on who's in the group. My man said that it was such and such. Like, I'm like, that's genius, because somebody had to get behind this record and put it out with the idea. You know, can you imagine going to somebody at, you know, one of these big record companies and say, hey, I got this idea. I want to put this album out, but I don't want to show my face. I don't want to shoot any videos. I just want it to be Jeff. Like, that's it. Yeah. Like, you know. But you know what it is? It's kind of like the unknown, to me, makes me feel like the unknown that we had when we all first started doing what we were doing. You know, it was like I didn't have a me when we came out. You know, it was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and you're looking at them making records, you know, and you understood who Grandmaster Flash was, but it wasn't a whole lineage in front of you to try to figure it out. Like, there was a point in time that, you know, when my mom's friends would ask what I did, and I said I was a DJ, the first thing came out of anybody's mouth was radio. Right. Because you're like, how can I tell you that I DJ block parties? How can I tell you I did Miss Jackie's house party? Yeah. Like, you'll walk out of the that's not. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, damn, I'm fighting for legitimacy.
You DJ?
Yeah.
Just a guy that
No, they're right. There's something attractive and like that almost draws you in more when there's like
Mystery.
almost not enough, or there's like a mystique about it. And I remember, like, to your point, like when I was coming up, like, I mean, you didn't see hip hop, so any splash of like a DJ on TV or breakdancing in a like that was like, yo, give me more. What was that? You know, like, and it just wasn't around. So like, anytime you caught like that real quick glimpse, like it just, you know, you just try to take it all in. But yeah.
But it's and to me that's where we are right now with the whole streaming thing.
Yeah.
It's just different because when you're 12 years old, when you're PJ's age, you'll jump from the top step to the bottom step and keep moving and run down.
Like none
None of us, no matter what kind of great shape we're in, will do that. Because the first thing that comes to your mind is, what if I miss? I won't be able to work. I won't be able to. It don't matter. You could be in the greatest shape in the world. It becomes a mental thing. So understand that excitement that we had to run head first into the first time that I touched turntables, you got apprehension running into streaming or owning your own club or doing your own events. Because now, what if I miss? What if I miss? You know, but it was, you know, like the analogy that I was telling Steve before. I was like, yo, I felt like we all started, everybody had a fishing rod and a gun. And you went hunting and you went fishing. And that's how we fed ourselves. And then all of a sudden people came out with supermarkets. And it was kind of like, yo, I can go to the supermarket and get my fish and get my meat. I'm good. I ain't got to hunt and fish no more. And then the pandemic hit. And it was kind of like, it's the misery loves company, not in a bad way, that it's kind of like, I can't look at Paul and even ask him, how you doing it? Because everything about what we did shut down. It wasn't any different for anybody. You can't call somebody and say, hey man, like, where's the secret place that you're going to DJ every week? Because the world was shut down. And that's and it started, you know, the beginning is kind of like, okay, misery loves company. All right. Well, it's not just me shut down. We all shut down. So it's kind of, hey, man, you good? Yeah, man, this shit's crazy. Yo, man, I don't know. You know, and then it was kind of like, okay, we got to figure out what we're going to do. I got to give the ultimate shout out to D Nice. I don't think D Nice planned to do what he did because he told me everything shut down. I was scared, not knowing what to do. First weekend, we all in the house. You telling us that people are dying of this, and the only thing that's going to make me feel comfortable is I'm going to put a controller on the counter and I'm going to play some music. Absolutely. And you look up and you plan for 100,000 people because not only does Miss Janice or Miss Jackie want to hear some good music to make her feel good, so did Oprah. So did Ellen DeGeneres. So did Michelle Obama. So once you started seeing that, and then what we looked at was kind of like, he wasn't playing Migos. Not to knock the Migos, but he wasn't playing that. He's playing Cheryl Lynn.
Right. He wasn't playing the club stuff.
Right.
You know, it was like, yo, he's playing for us. This is the music, like which is a thing in itself to think about. He was playing music to make us feel good.
Turn the radio
How
off.
crazy, there you go.
Turn the radio
How
off.
crazy is it? He was playing music to make us feel good. And if you pay attention to what he was playing,
He turned the radio off.
he turned the radio off.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And what happened was then we all kind of was like, okay, I'm going to start playing music.
Right, yeah.
But the funny thing, especially for all of us, when you play open format, we're a bodega. We're a bodega, and people come in for all different kinds of stuff. Terry predominantly plays dance and house music. Terry's a boutique. Yeah. Terry's kind of like, I know. Let me tell you something. It is very hard for Terry to get booked on a date. It's very hard for Terry to get booked on the wrong date. Yeah. For him to be like, yeah, man, you know, I got this booking and it was just crazy. I told you I got booked for a soca thing that I'm kind of like, I don't know anything about soca. Not that it was bad, but it was just kind of like, I don't know anything about that. You know, you kind of like, damn, you know, being open format. I could play hip hop, I could play house, I could play, you know, disco, I could play funk, soul. Every time when I did that thing with Defected, every time the marquee said DJ Jazzy Jeff playing house, it's 500 hip hop heads in the front. Play some Mobb Deep. Did you not read why we're here?
Right.
So it started to become this thing that I started to feel that the open format is a gift and a curse. And it was wild because Rich Medina said something to me. Like we were on a train going to Amsterdam from Paris, and Rich was just like, you know, man, because, you know, you're like our hero. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, you like our Swiss Army knife because you did an album with Defected and you put out an album with BBE. And I was like, yeah, but that sometimes doesn't work for me. Because if I got 10 different people that like what I do, all 10 of them want me to do what they like. Yeah. And when I do the other, they're angry. Yeah. You know, and then now I feel some kind of way because I'm kind of like, ain't nobody asking me what I want to do.
Right.
Right. But it was kind of like to get in a position that it was like, yo, like you just cut streaming on and just start playing music.
Yes.
Because it was almost kind of like, what is it that I really like to do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've been so used to doing, you try to do a mixture, especially me, and I know you too. You know, you try to do a mixture. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm not going to fit a round peg in a square hole, but I'm going to give you what you want. But I'm going to give me a little bit of me. Like, here's 4 records for you, and then here's 1 for me, and here's 4 records, here's 2 for me. Uh-oh, gave him too many of me. Let me go back to giving you some more of you. That for the first time, it was all you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It was all you. Like, I remember the early days of all of us streaming that you were just kind of like, what can I play?
What can't I play?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's when is the last time we took that lid off?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that's the coolest thing about it. Like, it's just the format's just wide open, and it's like, I mean, for me, it's full circle because, like, I mean, I think all of us, that's why we got into DJing in the first place, was the love for the music and for the craft and for the culture. And, you know, so I did that, you know, being a bedroom DJ, and then, you know, slowly kind of like got my skill set up, and then radio, and there's a format for radio. Mm-hmm. You know, you play the hits, and maybe you get the one gimme for you, and you got to sandwich it with the hits. And then I did the Mega Club thing in Vegas for like 15 years, and same thing, there's no rules, but there is a format. It's kind of like that, you know, everybody from all over the world, you got to try and please everybody. This guy wants house, but the guy spending $10K on a drink wants the Migos, and it's just like, one dude's going to be pissed off. But with streaming, it's just like, you can just, it's back to where it started. Like, I'm back in my bedroom playing the music that I love, and hopefully there's other people out there that are into it just as much, and they're going to ride with you, and that's, I think that's the coolest part about it. Like, you can finally just be yourself musically. Like, you know, there's no rules, and you'll get requests and stuff, and maybe sometimes, like, you know, kind of maybe walk the line a little bit, like you said, with the 3 or 4 for them. But then, you know, our job as DJs too is we're tastemakers. We get to educate and introduce music and new ways of playing maybe the same music that all these people are fans of for the last 2 or 3 decades. So I love it. I think that's the coolest part about it.
Yeah, I remember what was really terrifying. When did we start the pandemic? 21?
No.
20.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm lost in my days.
2 years ago.
Wow, it's 2 years
Pretty
ago.
much 2 years ago.
2 years
So that whole 20, we stayed the whole year, right? I'm trying to remember when was the year.
March 20.
The whole year of 21.
Okay, so we were streaming, we were doing all that, and the craziest thing, to echo what you were saying, is that we all jumped on the IG, then the Twitch came, then the first we was like, oh, Mixcloud is gonna be it, blah blah blah. And so in playing that, we like, hey, we play what we like, we play what we love. And I remember it was maybe May or June, whatever year that was, it had to be 21, when we went back. And I didn't see again all these new fans of people that never went out to the club, that I've never seen, that loved the music, introduced them to the music. And I remember going out playing this gig, and for that whole year and some change, I'm playing what I play. Got in front of a crowd. naturally played what I played on Twitch, it was like,
Right.
gotta pivot.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not working.
They want
live versus the stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
That's how a lot of people got exposed.
Whoa.
No, for sure. And then you feel out of practice because
Totally out of practice.
A lot of people.
But you know, I think it's multi-layered. I think one thing is that it ain't the same anything anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure it out.
Yes.
So what could you have played a more on target set? I don't, maybe, possibly, probably.
Right.
But I think a lot of those factors that we use to indicate sort of like, am I doing okay? The whole scale is a little bit off.
Yeah.
Right
It
now.
is.
People aren't really letting loose as much. That's
No,
what I think.
right,
I think
yeah.
about that a lot. Letting loose. That's what
Yes.
people. Best parties where people don't have a care in the world. Guess what? There's a lot of cares in this
Yeah,
world
yep,
right now. You
yep.
know? And you're trying your best to like give people that opportunity, but
Yes.
sometimes it's not just you. It's everybody. Everyone's going.
Because it was funny, the following week, I get back on Twitch,
Yeah.
and I had people in the comments like, yo, why you didn't play like this it? And I was like,
Yeah,
yo, I'm
that's-
so
we always
confused.
talk
Yeah,
about that.
it's hard to gauge.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm used to being in playing in front of crowds on the road, and I'm just like,
It's a
This
major
Different
it's a
animals.
major
Different
pivot.
animals.
And just talking to the people that are in the clubs, they're like, it is not like it's ever been. And it's the same thing. We as tastemakers had to figure it out, and we're figuring it out for them.
right,
That when we go back out, now it's kind of like, okay, well, the last time I went out 2 years ago, I could go up to him and I could tell him to play this record. But for 2 years, I wasn't able to do that. And I've trusted everything that he did, but I'm standing next to someone who doesn't watch anybody stream. This is turning into, I've realized that the younger demographic did not gravitate to streaming. The older demographic did, because the older demographic wasn't the one that was complaining so much about being in the house.
Well, that was to add to that. Also, what happened? We on D Nice. So D Nice was one thing. Now, what happened was when the new guys did get on the stream, no one wanted to listen, because this was the situation of saying somebody had to turn the radio off. You know what I'm saying, to get a different perspective of the music. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would I turn on to this cat if he's just playing all the same stuff that's on the radio? You might as well just turn the radio on.
right.
Yeah.
And it technically, what it did, it exposed them, because now this is the theory of, well, damn, you don't even have enough catalog. You don't even have enough records.
Yeah,
You
range.
can't even.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You can't do a New Jack set every day or every week.
Right.
You can't play, Before I Let Go and Fool's
Yeah.
Paradise every time.
Right. Yeah.
You can't play hot music and Follow Me
Everything.
and Marshall Jefferson
Right.
every single time, because that's like, so now it's like a lot of people have gotten exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, and it's good. It's kind of funny because really, D Nice really turned the car around on a lot of people, and now it's like, yo, we have to actually look into these libraries again and start playing records.
But you know what's crazy too is how you said a lot of people got exposed on that side.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that got exposed on who is that. They're really good. Like it's I kept saying that the pandemic allowed all of us to open up our own clubs,
Yeah.
and you can now visit everybody's club from your television, from your phone. And what happens is you kind of like, I didn't even know about DJ Siren's club, but she's awesome.
Monster. Yeah.
She like, oh my God, like, and you started appreciating that. Like, it was really funny because Terry and I had this conversation that there was a lot of very well-known DJs that disappeared, and there's a lot of people that we didn't know about that appeared.
Right. It made noise.
That it was kind of like, yo, like this is really start, washing it out. I was saying earlier, 2020, everything was crazy. Might have been July. Everybody was streaming, and it was popping. And it was a Friday night, and I told Lynette, I was like, babe, let's get a bottle of wine. Let's go in the room. And I'm joking with her. Let's get a bottle of wine. Let's go in the room, and let's go club hopping. And we go in the room, and I turn on Natasha Diggs, Soul in the Horn. She's rocking. Lynette and I in there dancing. And then I turned the channel, and it was Rich and Cosmo. And they playing, Rich playing Afrobeat, like they rocking. And it was wild because this was the night that Shortkut and Just Blaze, this is the first time I seen, what was it? That wasn't Restream.
Oh, yeah, no.
What was it? StreamYard.
Oh, StreamYard, yeah.
That was the first time I seen StreamYard. That Shortkut and Just Blaze were on the screen in two different places, side by side, having a conversation. My mind is blown. How are they doing that?
Right.
Like they didn't play together, but it was like Shortkut played, faded out, him and Just talk, Just start playing, Just went full screen, he's playing, and I stopped. Like, first of all, I was amazed, but I'm listening to the music, and I stopped, and I looked at Lynette, and I said, this is the best club I've ever seen. I was like it was a epiphany. Like, I was just like, yo, I just went to the best club. I went to a multiplex that I went from room, a house room, hip hop room, Afrophone, disco, all in my house. I fell asleep in the club.
Like back in the day.
I woke up, still had my wallet.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't pay for parking.
It was fuller than it usually
The
is.
drinks, the drinks were
It
cheaper.
wasn't lighter when you're walking.
But it was really one of those, like, that was the time that I was like, oh, this is a thing. This is a thing. The second thing, the aha moment, was we were about to stream one day, and I got a text message, or I got an email, a DM from somebody, and it was like, yo, I'm super excited. I'm a really big fan. This is the first time I'm seeing you play. So I kind of chuckled because it was kind of like,
Right.
you know, like, this is the
You're
first
not
time I've
really
seen you
seeing
play.
Been DJing
And
for
I
a
was
little
like,
while.
and so I just texted him back and said, wow, you know, because I didn't know really what to say. And he said, I graduated high school, went directly in the military, met my wife, and we had 4 kids. My lifestyle is not conducive to a club. That I want to get that tattooed on my back. Because when he said that, I said, wait a minute. There are people out here who their lifestyle is not conducive to a club.
Whole lot.
How are they going to see Skratch Bastid?
A whole lot of people.
How are they ever going to see him? Never. I was like, wait a minute. So you're playing for people that never been to the club, but I like good music.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. Then I'm thinking, and I said, it's more people that ain't never been to the club than go to the club.
Yeah.
Like, this is wild. So my job is to flag them down and let them know that there's an alternative.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing too. At first, I think a lot of us felt what we needed to do was pivot, or was to find a replacement for what had all gone away in a snap.
Exactly.
How do we? Let's do this, but online. Like, let's do the club, but online. And like when you say everyone opened their club, I don't think that was exactly what we thought we were doing. But like, let's do a show. Like with the barbecues, you know, we had done 11 barbecues in 2019. So when 2020 came around, we were preparing for them. And then when everything shut down, we're talking real in-person barbecues around the world. And then when everything shut down, we're like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? Well, at least let's try to kind of keep our events going. So let's do some online barbecues. But what I quickly sort of realized was it wasn't just a replacement for those live events. It was actually a whole new thing.
Yes.
It was not a replacement. It was a brand new thing. This thing wasn't gonna, only a certain percentage of that, smaller percentage, was gonna translate online. But this whole thing was a brand new thing that's emerging and still emerging.
Yeah.
And you have to tell people how to experience it.
Yes.
People don't
Yes.
know. And it's a slow curve, and so the club industry has been around for our entire lives.
Ever,
It was there before us, and it'll be there But we'll see. But be there after. It's hard. It's locked down for 2 years. You wonder. But this streaming thing is like has been around a bit, but like technology goes like this. It's exponential curve, and we're at this place now where everyone has high speed internet. I shouldn't say everybody, but the accessibility, and that word the access and accessibility. We're at this point where we've never seen something like this, and we never had so much access to so many people. And then the factor that people are at home is kind of like one of these things where the combination of the crazy accessibility and the static situation most people are in makes for this really good place for us to do things. But we have this a little bit of this old model in our head, and it's not like I really do hope that more live stuff comes back because I'm passionate about that, and I think we are emotionally attached to that side as well. We want those experiences again because they all hold special places in our lives. But what's been created is a new thing, all new, pretty much new, like never been this big as it is, and this can actually help the other things as well. Yeah. So this can help show people, because guess what? Anyone that was there anytime this weekend, they definitely want to go experience that live. Yeah. Like if we come around them, you know what I mean? And I don't think anyone saw that and said, cool, I've seen it, I don't need to go see it. I don't think people feel that way, you know what I mean? So the level of accessibility that people have, unprecedented, and we're in just uncharted territory. So again, it comes down to watching what other people do, seeing what Jeff does, seeing what Short, seeing Melo, see Tara, see Mel. Like you got to kind of see what's going on, ask questions,
figure it as we go.
Figure it
out. Study the game. It's still very fresh.
Yeah, it's a new game. It's very fresh. It's emerging.
But this goes back to when I said, if we were 17 and did this, we would be light years ahead. We would take gambles, hey man, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna, and it's kind of like we got all of the know-how and the experience, but there is a side that I feel like all of us are. You're feeling before you step out there. Yeah. You kind of like, I need to
make sure that ground is solid.
Yeah.
You know what? That makes so much sense because I was going to ask each one of you a question, but tapping on what you just said is that I got caught in that rut of streaming, right? Where, like you were saying, I didn't have an audience. So I was like, all right. First couple of weeks, I found myself constantly looking at my phone, constantly looking at the stream to get some kind of feedback, right? Just something. And I was like, I love it, but for me, when I do it, I'm not feeling that energy, that vibe. And then I was going and I was going and I was going and I was going and I'm like, man, okay, it's getting better. I see people on the stream. I'm getting more people that didn't even know was online was commenting like, yo, set was incredible. I didn't jump on. I kind of don't like to jump on because, if I say something and people going to say, and it turns not about the music. Then I went and I said, you know what, Terry? You didn't care when you was 15 in the bedroom.
Yep.
Who heard you?
That's right.
You was into the music, but you didn't got to a certain level. You used to going on a plane, traveling around the world, playing in clubs. You forgot
why you did this.
And the most humbling thing that humbled me was exactly that. It took me, I swear to you, I promise you, I beamed in my mind. I remember my bedroom. I remember the posters hanging on my walls from all the other DJs. Why I did that, and that's what got me back into doing it without a single person. And I was just like, yo, we're going about this the wrong way. We're thinking about this the wrong way. So it's so important what you just kind of said. And the humbling thing was about it, a lot of the celebrity DJs, well-known DJs, whatever you want to call them, like you said, went silent, new ones came up, and guess what happened, right? People are like, yo, everyone's a bedroom DJ. No matter where who you are,
even
how big, you're a bedroom DJ.
Yeah.
Straight up. The reset
Everyone was
button.
on. Hard reset.
Everybody.
Hard reset.
And not everybody was able to handle that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's another great thing about it is that it's really put like a proper light on the art form of DJing.
Yes.
Regardless of what genre you're playing, like however you style out, like the experience shows and it translates, and the way you present the music, and even part of, you know, all of us as personalities, like it shows your maturity level. And people, I think especially after the last 2 years the whole world has had, people really appreciate that authenticity and that,
Yes.
that genuine, even if it's just 2 seconds, yo, shout out, I remember you from last time, like, hope you're living well out there, like that resonates with people.
Yeah, man.
I think that's another really cool thing about it. You know, you can't get that at, you know, the festival or the house night, you know, when you're on the marquee. You
Yes.
can't,
That
you can't
direct
get that.
interaction with your crowd.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's speaking to them. Like, you're talking to me because
Directly.
you saw my name in the chat room. Like, I'm talking to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, shout to you in South
Yeah.
Africa. Like,
Like
Yes.
people love that.
They do. They do.
Back when you were in your bedroom
Yeah.
and you listen to college radio or whatever radio,
Yes.
if they shouted you out because you're a loyal listener, calling in, whatever, that meant everything to you.
Everything.
Right?
Shout it out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, that was
That
huge.
was it.
So like that is something that humans like, is that interaction. It makes them feel alive, makes them feel validated for their commitment to listen to you, supporting you.
Yeah.
And this is, again, that accessibility is, they've never had this level of accessibility. And that, you know, some people are afraid to give that level of accessibility for a number of reasons, whether it's not their personality or maybe they just don't want to do it or something like that. But I think something we talked about who made the transition, who didn't. There's a number of things. There is a big technological hump to get over. It's not easy or cheap to do. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but there is a hump, and it's an investment of money and time. It takes a while to
Yes.
figure it out. Even I remember last time we were here, Jeff, we
Yeah.
went downstairs into your movie theater and watching some of our early streams, and we couldn't believe
Yeah.
the quality
Oh my
of some
God.
of the early ones.
Wow.
But it's okay, it's all good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you learn as you go and you
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah,
And
I was there too. Yeah.
yeah, we're all there because we're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
Again, look at how do you get StreamYard to work? What are your settings? How does it
Right.
work? This,
What's
that,
the
other,
right
you know?
things to get? What's the right things to
And you know
buy?
what I like is I like the fact that you were able to pick up the phone when you saw someone do something and you didn't know how, and they would tell you
Oh,
what to
yeah.
do
Yeah.
because
That
we
part.
were all
Yeah.
going through this together.
That part. Yes.
We were all going through this together. Like
Yeah.
I remember Dan being on the phone with Clark Kent, I remember getting on the phone with Short, and we're trying to work it out. I remember when Restream came out, you and I did the first test. Restream does the same thing as StreamYard,
Yeah.
and we were trying to cut
Yeah.
and figure out the latency. But it was kind of like the last time that we had to do that was pretty much when we all first started. When
Yeah,
you brought
exactly,
a 05 home
Yeah.
and you hooked it up,
Yeah.
and you played with, like, that was us turning back the clock to, you know, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And you saw the ones that were like, instead of me figuring this out, I'm going to wait until this is over. And what I think the revelation that I got that night watching you and Just Blaze was it's never going away. Like, I was looking at that and I was just like, so now you done exposed people who've never went to the club, who Melo-D is, who Shortkut is, who Mell Starr is, who Terry Hunter is, from the comforts of my home. You gonna take that away from them?
Yeah.
You're gonna
That's
Someone's gonna take your place. Someone else will do it. You know what I
Say
mean?
it
Like
again.
Someone's
like
like, yeah.
this is the thing that's now available and accessible to people, and this is always gonna be here.
yeah.
Is that's what you're saying, right?
Yes,
You're gonna take that-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's here
It's
to
here to
stay.
stay. It's here to
You
stay.
know, and whether this translates for everybody into other things or not, it is a thing that's happening right now. So I think the people that decided not to go into it, and maybe some have converted, maybe some haven't, and maybe some never will. Maybe it's not for everybody. But what's one thing's for sure, this is what's happening now. I don't know when other things are going to happen again. So the way my mind works is like let's take care of this right now. And I can say the first 2 or 3 months I saw some people taking up doing it, and like Short was really early on it on Twitch and everything.
We were
like
one of
that.
the first, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, and then you're like, how did they do it? You'd watch, and even Twitch and stuff. You have to understand how Twitch works. It's a crazy culture in there. You
What's
know?
that tech company you were talking about? Like, you know, then investing in the gear and, you know, like
Yeah.
Mac user my whole life. I was like, yeah, I gotta get a what?
Yeah.
PC? Are you serious?
Like gaming tower?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Graphics card, what's that? Like,
But
you know?
across the board, everyone's figuring out. Look at Versus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Right, yeah.
You remember how terrible that was in the beginning? It was kind of like, yo, I stream better than
Right, this
Versus.
is bad at first. Yeah.
But they were figuring it out too.
Yeah.
They was on their
Yeah.
phone like,
Yeah.
put the clip in.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
this.
like that. 100%.
Turn off the TV.
It's
Turn on your lights on. Turn these lights on.
Feedback.
Yeah,
TV.
yeah, yeah.
Turn it off.
But I mean, you know, everybody was figuring it out, and the hard part is we all had friends that didn't make the transition, that you tried to make the transition, and it was just, you know, I equated it to we're lost. All of us are lost in the woods, and you got two choices: you could stand here and wait for somebody to find you, or you could potentially walk in the wrong direction. There's no gamble that we're gonna walk in the
Don't look
right,
up.
but you can potentially
Yeah.
walk
So good, right?
and see if you can find your way out of this.
Absolutely.
And I think it was shocking to me how many people stood there and was like, "Nah, you go ahead." Because what if you went in the wrong direction? Like it really told you about. It told you something about people. You know, not that it was a bad thing, but you kind of understood. Like, how much are you going to do for yourself? How much are you going to try to get out of this mess yourself? It was kind of like, yo,
And there are other things to do. Some people worked more in production.
Yeah.
Some,
See, and that's my headache, cause like I've been here. Well, I'm here about a week. I've been recording every day, every single day, every day. Even a week, every day, recording. And I'm like, fuck, I want to go online with the guys. Like, and it's crazy. I have a Twitch. I signed up. I got it.
Yeah.
Dan put it together. You know, and I could have just, I could have been like, you know what? At midnight, I'm gonna go and just click on and just say what's up.
So
to
let me
the
ask you a
people.
question. Why have you, what took you so long in that sense? Because we're talking about it, like, why did you wait?
You know, I don't know. And it was just really like, I'm watching y'all. So here's the thing. So, and this is where progression comes in. So now I'm saying to myself, I was doing IG Live at one point, like, you know what? I'm going to use the IG Live just to stay with
And
the people.
Facebook, I saw you on that live.
That's all I was on. It's like, so I would just call them practice moments. So I would say, hey, I'm just going on. I'm in practice. Jeff goes, hey, man. Yo, I'm looking at you, but you look backwards.
I was so mad.
And he would call me every time I go online. Mel, you look backwards. Your turntables.
Yeah,
I was, because you know what it is. I was telling him, if you waited all your life to watch your favorite guitar player,
Yo.
and the first time you saw him, the guitar was upside down, you would be upset if you were a guitar
It
player.
was crazy.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time.
frustrated. Yeah, be
He
like,
would
yeah.
get a text. Hey, man. Then
And you saw, and you know what it is? It's you realize that these were the people that needed to see
Right.
themselves while they were streaming,
Exactly.
realizing that the phone wasn't mirrored.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of like I'm watching the turntable go back. I'm watching the R&B on the wrong side. He's scratching. I'm sitting back like, man, if I was trying to pick up a technique or something, I'm trying to figure out. I need to take you and put it in the mirror.
Right, and just to add to that, so one of the reasons why, and then I called you about the cameras and all that, so I was like, all right, hold up, what kind of cameras are I using? Because now I'm looking at everybody's shows and I'm like, damn, this shit look like 8K. Damn, yeah. But those are the things that I was like, okay, I don't want to go on Twitch until my room is right.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, I have the cameras. I got certain things that I need. Now it's like, oh, you gotta get a car and a what? And a who?
Right.
And a huh? Then I'm looking at y'all rooms. I'm like, oh God, like I don't want to go to your house. I don't want to go to your house.
Right.
I don't want to go to your house.
Yeah.
I already went there, and I'm like looking at all of this, and I'm like, oh man, you gotta, So again, it's you put in what you get out. You know what you're looking at. It's a product at this point. So it's like you can't just pull your phone up no more and just be like, I think I'm worth this amount of money, but I look like this online. So that was always my thing. Like the aesthetics is very important to me. Like I said, it was just mainly, hey, I'm just going online, let everybody know I'm here. I'm around. We just was sick that time, like when all that started happening. So it was like, damn, we gotta go online and at least be present and show ourselves. And then once I really started looking, I was like, yeah.
We all went through the not great stages together, and everybody. So it was a little different, and I think it was me trying to usher everybody in to the whackness. Like, listen, we all whack right now, and we got to get good together. But come and join on the whackness, because what you don't want to happen is everybody to get better, and then you're starting from the whack part. Because in the beginning, no one cared about your camera being backwards.
Right.
No one cared that D Nice was streaming on an iPad in his kitchen. No one cared. Like, it wasn't until we made them care, it wasn't until you started to show them what it could be that people will make comparisons. There wasn't nobody coming on the first 6 months of us streaming saying, oh, his stream, people's stuff was freezing, and we just went through it.
Yeah, but I think part like to what you were saying, like, I mean, at this point, like, we're all professionals, we care about presentation. So I mean, that stuff, like we want our stuff to look good, to sound good, to translate well. So all that stuff's important, versus just, all right, I'm just gonna go off the phone. Like, I can't really see any of us doing that. And kind of going back to what you're saying about being 17 and at the house, you know what I mean, being a bedroom DJ. Like back then, I don't think we think about it anymore because it's this many years later. But it was like nothing to lose, everything to gain. But now it's just like, I mean, it's inherent for 3 decades, and there's more at stake now. This many years later. So I'm not gonna jump those 3 steps or whatever. I'm just gonna slowly take my time and make sure it gets done right. I'm not gonna force anything.
Look, you start thinking there.
I'm walking down this flight.
I got bills to pay.
Yeah,
Tuition to pay.
but that's to me, that is what you can't get past that. But that is basically what the stumbling block is.
Right.
That it's kind of like, I'm in the best shape of my life. Why won't I jump down these steps?
Yeah.
I go to the gym. I lift weights. I do everything. Why won't I jump down these steps?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, you just kind of get yourself in this mindset that it's kind of like, what if I fall? If I fall and twist my ankle, man, I can't take the kids to school. I can't do this. I can't. And it's just kind of like, nah.
Why go to? My thing is,
Did he want to come through, Dan?
I think he already left.
Who was it?
Okay.
Like, he probably went back to the studio?
I don't know, he dipped in and right back.
Oh.
He went flip back on me.
But yeah, it's just we're in this place now of everybody's pretty much locked into what they're doing and where they're at, and it was wild for me that when they start opening the world back up a little bit more, and the phone calls started to come in for dates, I actually started having anxiety attacks. And it was weird because I've never had that. Like, I went through having panic attacks, and it took a second for me to admit that to Lynette, that are like, I'm over here freaking out.
right.
And she's like, well, what is it? And I'm like, listen, this almost took me out.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how psychologically it got me, that I'm like, listen, I don't ever want to be that sick again. I have very vivid memories of me being that sick. I don't want to be that sick again. I don't want to put myself at risk of being that sick. And I'm looking at it like, how in the world is the rest of the world going out to a club? Like, and I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying the PST in me was, or PTSD. I'm sitting here like, how are y'all talking about going to a club? Like, I understand people, oh my God, I've been stuck in this apartment, but I'm kind of like, it's a war outside. It's a war. I don't want to be stuck in an apartment either. I don't want to get shot though.
Yeah.
But I started to go through that it was kind of like, okay, I need to pivot, until we get to a place. And I don't know where that place is going to be or how that place is going to be, me and Paul were talking about, you get offers for international dates. There is so much that you have to think about. I know you went to Croatia.
Listen.
You went through hell.
And that was the whole thing, is that in talking about it and as of the last 6 months or whatever, when we opened back up, I did a bunch of runs in Croatia, London, Mexico, and the one thing by me even having COVID for the first time, I didn't hit it twice now, right? But you talking about taking the fun out of going to do your gig. I remember the first time I traveled to London, they're like, yo, you have to go get a test. When you get the test, then you got to go on your app. You got to upload your test to the airlines and to the UK, to their government, right? Then, when you get off the plane, you got to make sure all of that stuff is in order. Before I even got on the plane, the app told me it was sent. The people at United is like, it's not sent. You got to upload this before we let you on this plane, and it's got to go to the UK government. And I'm sitting here, and she was like, okay, sir, step aside. And I'm like, wait a minute. No one has no assistance to tell you how to do it. And I'm like, nah, man, I got it uploaded 2 minutes before they closed the flight. Now I'm rushing to the gate. Boom, get in the hotel. Check you to make sure you swap in the hotel before you even go to your room. Boom, I done stressed out, went through that. All right. Can I order room service? We don't have room service. Huh? I said, so what's open to eat? Nothing.
Yeah.
I said, huh? So now I'm looking on Uber. Now I'm calling the promoter like, yo, I need something to eat. All the stores closed. Everything is closed. So I'm like, yo, the next day, go to the festival, stand in line, get tested. Same process over. Leave, gotta get tested again. Went there, everybody don't know. It's just us, like again, learning the situation on how to stream. Hey, we all doing it, we don't know. Get there, the promoter tells me, no, the rules just changed. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine for 14 days. You're okay. You're going back to your country? No, Terry, you're fine. You don't have to take the test. I said, okay, you sure? No, you don't need a negative test to travel. I'll go to the airport. Hello, Mr. Hunter, where's your test? I said, they told me, I didn't need a, who told you? Oh, you got to go over there in that line. How long is it before? Oh, it's like 2 hours. Anybody that know me, I'll push it to the limit. So I'm like, 2 hours? Whole process, stand in line, go get tested, have the paper, load it up. When I land in America, they like, hey, do what you do. Like, for just going overseas.
That just gave me anxiety.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, nah, man, nah. And I got to do this every time I go. Before I leave, I got to get tested. When I land, I got to test before. And so that's the whole thing where when you was saying all that, I was like, man, I got to look at some of these situations because obviously this is how we feed our family.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're now making a decision on your life and feeding your family.
Yeah.
We didn't get into this to have that type of feeling. You know what I mean?
The whole
And that's
system.
what is disruptive about it to me.
So you got to find that feeling, and that feeling is out there. It's just you get it in different ways too,
Absolutely.
right? And so I love the story you talked about finding that 15-year-old bedroom in your head. You know.
Yes.
That was. I really feel like all of us have had a moment of why are we doing this and what do we do this for?
Absolutely.
Because that's when an artist is faced with a big changes like that. This was like an imposed big change for everybody.
There you go.
And now that we're starting to peek our head out, you're realizing that whole industry is the whole industry from from the testing thing, but also
Yes.
let's not forget why wasn't room service open? Well, partially because of regulations, but also staffing. That's what
Yeah.
everything's
There is
going
no
right
staff.
now.
Yeah.
There's no
That's
staff.
right.
There's no people.
Absolutely.
So how long is that going to take to recover step by step by step? And guess who's at the end of the line?
Mhm.
The entertainment. Like
Yeah.
they're not going to
Yeah.
put an entertainment on without everybody to run and make the money. So like it's just such a complex. It's so hard to measure, and of course everyone's going through something different. So it's like really hard for anybody to say, oh, this is the solution or this is what's happening. One thing that I know for sure is that it's all shooken up,
Absolutely.
and there's no telling of when.
Let me tell you the scary part about it. I was talking to Jeff, and I was like, man, caught COVID again, second time, right? I'm fine, I'm over it. So during the Christmas break, I had like 2 or 3 major corporate gigs, Christmas gigs. Then I'm like, all right, I'm cool. Lose all of that, right? Boom, got hit with a situation. Hey, got a situation for you in LA, huge offer. LA, so you're hearing the stories that, hey, it's really bad in LA. Like, again, I shouldn't have to feel like I'm gambling with my life, my family's life. Boom, go over there, do the gig. Would assure me, the promoters is like, listen, we're testing everybody that comes in. It's a movie studio. They're not having it where they had the New Year's Eve event. They can't afford to have people in the building with COVID because on Monday,
Right.
they're shooting a big production, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, went to LA, did it. They had it all set up, whatever. You go in, everybody had to get tested. A little waiting part. If you was negative, boom, you're going to party. I said, I'll do it. I said, listen, told the promoters, no pictures, no this. Everything gets a little lax. A couple of people start coming up in the DJ booth. I'm like, okay, I'm trying not to be, rude about it. They cleared that out. We're leaving. I said, as soon as I'm done, I need the car there. Get back to the hotel. So I'm waiting on the car. I'm talking to one of the guys that worked there. He's like, yeah, pretty nice system, blah, blah, blah. It's these new companies popping up. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah, it was a good event. Felt good to be in front of people. I said, it's crazy. I was wondering why no one had their mask on. And he was like, well, yeah, after you took the test, you didn't have to really wear a mask. So I said, oh, okay. I said, let me ask you a question. How many people did y'all test that tested positive? He said, half.
What?
Half. So now I'm thinking, how many people slipped through the cracks?
Oh my God.
I'm thinking, what if they didn't test? I would have been in the room, New Year's Eve, thinking I'm cool, with half the people
Full blown.
that got COVID.
Full blown. Oof.
So do you understand what I was like?
Yeah, that's
Nah,
crazy.
man.
That would make me
It's gonna
nervous.
turn into
Nah, man.
your rider's gonna be
No, like really, y'all listen to that. Like think about that. Half.
your rider gonna be on health.
Somebody slipped through the cracks somewhere.
Absolutely.
Club life. There's a back door. Every club has a back door.
Every door.
But I'm
every
like,
one.
are you serious? He said, man, half.
Riders are gonna be on health before equipment.
So that is
Like
that's the thing. Like, and I sat there the whole way back, like, damn, I am gambling with my life
Yeah.
and my family.
And we would sound bitter just to say certain simple things like, no one can come to the booth. No, we can't take any pictures. No,
Because some people don't believe it, man.
Well,
No,
you
we
know
can't
what?
hug
And
you.
I
None of
almost
that,
think
like-
that you almost have to unapologetically
Yeah.
stand your ground.
Yeah.
or I definitely feel like I unapologetically have to stand my ground after what I went through.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's just kind of like, listen, I'm
Absolutely.
sorry, because I mean I had a bunch of friends. You know, it was crazy to be on lockdown the way that we were. That it was literally, you know, my mother-in-law, you know, my kids, us, you know, we were here. My son came down from New York. We were locked in. That it got to the point that I remember the first time that James Poyser and his wife came. They came to pick up something. They pulled up, and Lynette and I walked out of the studio and stood at the door. And they stood at the car. And we were just kind of like, you know, people were, you know, tearing up because we couldn't go up and do that. But it got, you know, as it got later, them being locked down and quarantined, us being locked down and quarantined, they started coming over every Saturday. And they would get in the pool and we would barbecue because it was kind of like, y'all don't go anywhere, we don't go anywhere. We're just making our bubble a little bit bigger. You know, but it was just that fear factor of where that was. And I had friends that would just be like, yo, I'm about to pull up. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
You know, and you started to realize that everybody viewed this different.
Everyone did.
Everybody viewed it different. You know, and not really getting graphic. This is a condom. This is a condom. This is, hey, you got some friends that's like, I want to come over and get next to you without a condom. And you kind of like, nah, I kind of protect myself. You know, and then you have that, oh, so you just around everybody without a condom.
Yeah.
And then you just, you know, because in your brain, you like, oh, man, that's, you know, and hey, however you want to think and your position on it, that's cool. But it's kind of like you got to respect everybody else's position. I respect whoever and however you want to handle this.
Yes.
I just need you to respect mine. That, you know, and my perspective is a little bit different. You got people out there that are kind of like, I don't believe this. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm living proof to myself that this is out there and this is taking people out. I lost a bunch of people. I almost lost myself. So I view this a little bit different.
But then there's the other factor to that too, to add to that, is that there were a lot of people who had COVID, and then there were a lot of people who had LOVID. So the people who had the full contact, where you was like feeling like you were going to die, and not
you had both.
Versus
you know the difference between the two.
Catching up
Big time.
Oh my, and they got a light cough. Versus you can't even touch your phone because the phone is cold, even though the phone is hot. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What you say you called it COVID and what else?
LOVID.
So what I did, I hit it twice. Like you just said, I called it COVID and Bud Light.
Yeah.
It was Bud Light. So it was,
yeah.
you know, but it's the difference. And I mean, like I said, like you said, Jeff, hey man, whatever your belief is, whatever science you believe in, I ain't no doctor. I ain't here trying to change you, right?
Yeah.
But I can tell you the difference. We talk almost every day when I was sick. I was leading on to people like, I'm cool. He knew I wasn't cool. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I hang up the phone. Man, I'll start crying. Like, because stuff hurt me on a part of my body that I didn't even knew exist. And I'm going to tell you when I knew it was real. I remember like the 5th day in, I'm sitting back and I'm like, yo.
Couldn't shake that headache off?
Yo, not even a headache. It was the no taste and no smell on top of my body aches was so bad. I'm sitting there. And I couldn't, it hurted to blink. So I'm up 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sitting up in bed because I'm tired of laying down, and I'm just like this, with my eyes closed, because it hurt to blink. Then I got it again. Of course, in between there, I'm vaccinated. I had a fever, and I was cool. So to me, I know it was the vaccine.
Right, for you, and that's your experience, right?
And that's my experience.
And I think that, like, listen to, everyone has a different perspective and
Yeah.
different experience. And that's part of the reason why it's so unpredictable where it will go, but also why it's hard to catch a vibe when you did get out, because think of all the things that are going on in everybody's head.
What?
They're thinking of their relatives, their friends, stories they've heard, and then they're looking at everybody and wondering what might be going on in their life or in their thing.
Absolutely.
So especially people of our age group, 35 and up, whatever, get like that sort of, there's kids in their 20s that they got nothing to worry about. Their world is so small. You remember what your life was in those, they want to get out. Those people really want to go get out, but then there's a whole lot of people as you get on, and that I would say that's mostly our crowds and stuff. Those people have so much to lose and so many stories that they've heard, so it's really hard to catch a vibe. And who knows where it's going to go. Like to say, things are changing, and we have tools at our disposal now that we can use to fight it, and we'll see where it goes. But one thing's for certain is it's uncertain. We don't know where it's going to go. So again, the best thing we can do is work with what we got, and yeah, man. I mean,
And rest assured, again, like you just said, everybody's situation is different. It's totally different. And so you gotta start respecting that.
Yeah. Oh, totally. At first you thought, oh, there's almost an expiry date. Oh, this is gonna be over by, I predict 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4. This should be around for 4 weeks. It's not gonna be a cliff. It's gonna be some kind of slope. That angle's gonna change. Who knows? It's so hard to say, but it's not gonna just stop one day.
No.
And there are gonna be some people that never ever go back to going out. They're gonna have PTSD from this whole thing. They're gonna have, or they're just gonna figure, my life changed. I like this life, or this is what I like. This is my new life.
I'd rather not go.
It's so hard to say. So let's adjust as best we can now and figure out something that works in this situation. So. And I'll tell you what, this weekend worked.
It
Oh
sure
my
did.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It sure did.
It was
And it's
special.
funny because it's this is a reason for people to have an alternative. You might not know. I believe that every time you stream, you're going to get somebody new. Somebody. I love the fact that Twitch has this first time viewer thing, and you start watching, and I start calling a lot of those people out, like welcome, and so, because it's almost like, hey, this is the first time you come into the club, welcome, this is great.
I got a shout out of the stream once.
Right.
You see people in the streams, they go back and they record that.
Yeah.
Like you shouted me out,
No, that acknowledement is special.
And guess what? That feature only came in like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
So like we say, everything's always changing. And I love that, and I think that, and then the live component of whatever that would be, you've now created some sort of attachment memory for them to be like, I'm definitely gonna go check it out.
For sure.
Hey, remember when you shouted me out on the stream?
Yeah.
No, but I'm happy you're here.
And like I said, it's funny, that aha moment of you, and if the only way that you were going to see Skratch Bastid is if you went to a club, and you're not a club goer. You need to see him. How can I? And it was funny, because I started to realize that my platform isn't my platform. My platform is a platform.
Yes.
That it was kind of like, wait a minute, I need to use this to expose as many people in to good stuff, good music, good DJs. Like, oh my God, you like that? You had a good time? What if you saw him? And what if you saw him? And as you start doing that, because you get some people that are just kind of like this, it's just, and I appreciate it. Short has had people on, I've done Melo Stream, Bastard's Barbecue, Sanitize Your Soul, like, it got to a point that it wasn't just me. Everybody started to feel like, yeah, this is cool, but him and I are great. And so is him and I. And then sometimes you might get all three of us. And then Terry, and then such and such. And, then you start adding the Zoom element in. And, last year when we did the Halloween party, I was like, it's the greatest Halloween party I've ever been to. Yeah. And we were home. Yeah. He came out in the beekeeper suit, and I'm playing Nightmare on Elm Street. We're trying to find creative things, but not just that, but to look at the people in the Zoom. Everyone was dressed.
Yeah.
Like you're like, wow, like
Yeah, and
you're buying into it.
and literally buying into it. You know that you set up a business out of that, of them paying the ticket to do that, and to get on the VIP stream. And like the business side of it is like one that's always evolving too. And there's a Twitch science and a business, and it's different than playing a show because we get used to getting an envelope of cash or a guarantee for all the shows. And with streaming, it's more flexible, it's more variable, and there's and it's different for people. I find for me, like, you know, that acknowledgement with the crowd and understanding who's supporting you is big. You gotta look out for those people that are supporting you. You know, your regulars, and you gotta give them a shout out. And like everyone's gonna have their own approach to that, and it's constantly changing. I find for me, like, help letting people know what supports me best. Sometimes people ask, like, hey, what's the best? I want to support you. This is amazing for me. I want to reciprocate somehow. How do I support you? And I think it is important that we either understand how that works or offer people an avenue to do that. You know,
Absolutely.
That's what me and Jeff do with the subscription services. Twitch has it built in. They do take a cut for it, but it's part of the system that they've built, and it's actually, you know, pretty expensive for you to do that yourself. And then you can't get the network and the raids and everything like that. Like, it's kind of an uphill battle to try to do it yourself in the current situation. But you know, just like any other business, remember, we all started at $0 in our bedroom for something, and you had little things, ways to build it up, and eventually, so like, you can't expect that 20, 30 year run. We're still at, we just started this,
Year 2,
right?
Season 2, we're in season 2 right now.
So yeah, again, like, looking at other people, seeing how they do it, seeing what works for them, and finding those people. You know, you read a lot of things about like the 1,000 fan core and stuff like that, of that being sustainable for an artist to go. We still have some time to find those people, but understanding how things work is a challenge, and you gotta work at it a bit. And we all have different situations, and we all have different demographics and people, and maybe our people don't know how to support us or don't know how.
That's the key.
You know, so you gotta teach them, you gotta show them.
That is the key.
You can't sit there and say like, support me, and then you actually don't even have a way to do it. You have to give people a way to support you. Whether it's a link, whether it's as simple as like Venmo, PayPal, whatever, or you find some kind of trade of some sort. You know, what do you give people? Is it Patreon? Is it, what are you offering people for what they want to give you? You know, because that's also different for everybody, what you can offer.
And then this is cool that, because you get a lot of people that will see people in the Zoom room having a good time, and everybody's like, how can I get in there? Like, this is a thing. Like I keep saying, 2 years ago, none of us were doing this.
0.
2 years.
2 years ago, none of us are doing this. So as new as it is for us, it's extra new for them. So you gotta have the patience to show them what to do. I need to show you what to do. Like, it was funny because Lynette, last Christmas, Lynette was like, we should give them clips. Like, if Best Buy has a 70-inch television for $5.99, let them know. And it was like, wow, like, this is great, because every $5.99 TV has Twitch built into it. So it's kind of like, yo, like, I never forget, one of my close friends is my insurance guy. And I was like, yo, like, he sent me a picture of him and his wife watching the stream, and they were in the kitchen. Around his phone. They got a glass of wine, and they're like this. And I was like, yo, what are you doing? It's like, dude, you got 75 TVs in your house. Like, put it on Twitch. Like, what is that? And I remember running him through, downloading the app, something says, clicking DJ Jazzy Jeff, and he was like, yo, I've been watching this on my phone. And I was like, you know what? You gotta educate them.
Yeah, you do. And I think in general, people, I mean, I'm guilty of it too, we're reluctant by nature to like, another social media app, I gotta do what? And so you have to kind of like walk them through it. Like, no, it's real simple, just like anything else, just create a username, get
Password.
a secure password, and then go up in front of your TV, or if you're on the road, you can listen to it in the car, and there's a live chat. Like, you get them excited about it, and
there's so many
they already
features.
want the music, and what happened this weekend? Like, I was in the chat like heavy, like just mixing it up with folks, but the Zoom, that was the first time I really like when you were playing, like.
Yep.
Everyone was excited for everybody for different reasons. Like when you were, but like when they went to the Zoom room, like you could just, they were up, they were smile, the smile, you were putting smile. Everyone was just feeling good. It was so dope to see. And then you were just the conductor. Like you had everybody just excited and like blowing people's minds. And then you always like get people amped up. So of course. And then obviously the birthday love was
so dope.
But there was so many comments like this is the best weekend ever. And just it was special. It was special. So and
it's like
still fresh. It's
we gotta do more stuff like that. And then it's the conversation that me and Paul have had. We all have a lot of DJ friends.
We do.
And not all of the friends fit. Like, and it was wild because I remember when I first kind of encountered that, I said something to Paul, and Paul kind of made mention of the barbecue because Paul was throwing the barbecues, and he's kind of like, listen, we do Red Bull 3 style, so every DJ in the world is looking at him like, hey, when can I play the barbecue? How do you tell the person? Because you all know, if you're throwing something, you're a curator.
Right.
You kind of know the audience, and you kind of know who fits with the audience, and some of us don't fit with the right audience. It's the round peg in the square hole, and you realize. I don't know a DJ alive that has been DJing longer than 10 years that has never said once, I should open my own club. I have my own, and now we got it. Now you understand, like, oh shit, programming is a thing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like, understand, early on, you turn on Shortkut. Shortkut was doing New Jack Swing video sets. And I was like, shit, he done narrowed that down. But now you got everybody doing that. That now you find yourself sitting down, writing down ideas.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you write down ideas all the time.
I mean, every night's a different night.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
it's different themes. That's
and that's the other thing too about it is work, but it's good work for you to do.
Yes.
It's like
It's what we used to do.
It made me love DJing again.
Exactly.
I mean, even more. I mean, I've always loved DJing, but like just like doing sets on streaming, but not being able to do that in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember the last time we could ever do what we did last night. Like we played freestyle, electro, and Melo-D bass, and cut it up at the same time, and still have an audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like watching us do that, and I was.
Yeah.
The audience where everyone's in the front row in the comfort zone.
And they were engaged. They stayed the whole time. Same with the whole weekend. I mean, like the room, everyone stayed the whole time.
Listen.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I remember last year, this time, streaming, birthday stream. Did we restream or whatever it was, right? So I'm in my setup.
I remember that set.
Listen, rocking. Just, I don't even remember what happened. Oh, I don't know what happened. I don't even want to diss no company. Sorry, I'm not gonna diss no company. The players, the players that I was using, shut off. Literally in the middle of my show on his birthday, right?
I saw
20,000 people, I think it was.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Can you imagine? I'm like, yo.
Oh no.
I'm done.
I don't want to get.
And
mad.
so in 2 seconds, I was like, Terry, this could have happened at a party. I'm playing this record that I just finished from Ed Robinson. When I say everybody was into it, and I'm like, oh shit. Regroup, reset everything, and I just got on the mic and was like, hey, rewind. Boom. That mistake was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because it went from here to all the way up there.
Yeah.
And I could have easily failed.
Yes.
I could have, and then talking to Jeff afterwards, he was like, "No, we had your back. I was ready. Oh, we had, we was gonna do such and such and such and such." But I obviously didn't know that until after the set. But like that was one of the most craziest moments, I swear. Online, I'm by myself in a room, playing my brother's birthday party. First time all of us doing this, and the CD player just shuts off.
Yeah.
And I don't use that company no more, at least to say.
But listen,
again,
it's always a level of. I've always said DJing is a level of anxiety that we've all just gotten used to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Having the wrist and needle jumping is a level of anxiety that we all just got used to. It's kind of like, okay, it's a part of it, and and I kept saying, when Rain came out with the 12s, when they came out with Phase, there was a part of me that I was like, this is the first time that I don't have to worry about that. We have never, in the course of our early years of DJing, walked on the stage hard.
Right.
We subconsciously tiptoe around the turntables because of the needle.
Right.
And we don't even realize we do that.
Right.
It's a thing, and to get to a point that you don't have to worry about that. Like I remember going to those festivals and being one of 2 DJs that did these big giant festivals that used turntables. That I watched the level of freedom that everybody else that was using CDJs and all the rest of that had. That I was kind of like, yo, I am sweating bullets. It's not just about my performance. It's about the gear. It's about the weather. It's about all of these. Yeah, like you had this level, of stuff, and I got to come up with a dope set to play at the same time, to get to a point that is everybody is more comfortable on their setup at home.
Oh, always.
You know what I mean? So I got my setup at home. I ain't got to worry about the wind blowing.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Unless you're by the pool.
Yeah. But it's you start to realize, that there's a different level of comfort, and all of those things. I don't know what it is with me that I'll think of something and I absolutely positively hate the Will told me once that the guy who manages him, he said, you know why he manages me? Because if I say I want to do a show on the moon, he won't laugh at me. He'll say I'm going to call NASA. And I was like, ooh. And he said, if you don't have people around you like that, you got to get people around you. You can't have someone that is trying to talk you out of an idea.
Box you in. Yeah.
And the hard part about it is when you have an idea, a lot of times you are crazy. You're the only one that has this idea. I don't mind being the crazy one. Just don't talk me out of the idea. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like, you don't understand. My brain, from that first night of him and Just Blaze and understanding that platform, as soon as he said, you can have 10 people in the waiting room, I immediately planned out my birthday party.
Right.
Like, I was like, yo, we could sit down and do this. How are we going to try this and something, and we get this? And, you get better in explaining the dialogue to people because, some of those people were very new in streaming. I remember Clark Kent. We sent Clark. Clark left and went to the store. He's in the store. Okay, I'm buying this, and I'm getting to this, and I'm getting to this, because I need everything that I need to do it. Dan on the phone with him, and plug it up in here, and something says. But it was kind of like you had to usher it in. But you get to a point that you tell somebody, I'm about to throw a music festival. Because for all intent and purpose, that's exactly what we did all weekend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what we did all weekend. And it curated. Okay, these are the main people that night. You know, like, oh man, like we do this, and then you kind of understand, like, all right, if I start off playing like this, and then Short is going to throw the alley oop, it's kind of, oh man, and he coming, and then Terry going to do this, and then Mel's kind of like Mr. Everything, so he's going to pick up from Terry and do that. Oh man, good night. Yeah. Everybody go to sleep, and then you wake up, and it's like, all right, we're going to start here, and we're going to play like this and do this, and then go. Like somebody who was sitting in their house this weekend, which it seemed like it was a lot of people in the house.
The mind-blowing, I've never seen the mind-blowing emoji used so many times in the chat. Because we understand how the DJing works and the idea of versatility. But and this is the thing, a lot of times people only have a few different live experiences of what they think you are.
Yes.
Now they see the whole thing.
And it's visual too, they get to see it.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, but then you got this, one more thing, Terry, you're blinking.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Just saying, it was just let you know what's happening. But now, see, this thing here is something that a lot of people still haven't seen a lot of that happen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, first of all, this is the first time we've all been on the lineup all together. But, like, seeing the interaction, they think, I mean, and, you know, pat ourselves on the back, like, we all got things that we bring to the table, sure. And like I felt so many great moments over the weekend of synergy and balance and like transitions and everything like that from the programming and everything. Yeah. But people they can feel something special about that. And again, it's the accessibility. We're able to show them that, and that's going to leave them with a positive lasting memory they're going to associate with all of us forever.
Yeah.
And something that they can't get at an actual festival.
Exactly. This is something.
Where are they going to get me cooking?
Yes.
I was cooking today.
Yes.
Were you?
Yeah.
You know, but but that once again is you stepping out of a box. Like, for me to say, like, listen, on a normal day, Lynette and I will be in the kitchen cooking, having Spotify on the Sonos. And it was kind of like, yo, what if we pulled tables in here and brought some speakers and played? And what if we streamed? And how can we
want to know what you're listening to on your Sonos? Like, so many people want those. Again, it's the accessibility, and it's a brand new experience. But we're writing the rule book.
And there's 6 of us here. You would figure that there's 6 attitudes.
Yeah.
There's 6 egos.
Yeah.
There's, you know, and no one. Yo, I'm playing at 2:00.
Yeah.
2:00, 1:59:50. You gotta get. You gotta get off. Well, we like, damn, bastards over there rocking. You gotta let them rock. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, I love all you guys. So my whole thing is always just like, I just want everybody to just be dope, have fun.
Well,
we talk about it. We, you know, if I see you moving and you looking like you about to do something crazy, I'm right on it. Yo, Bass, you know what? You gotta do that. Yo, Mello, since you there, you know what? Won't you? In short, like, and then but Jeff, the dopest thing that happened was when you came in on the very last part. It was like the closeout. It was just really, really dope. But just to understand the synergy of everybody, you know, and how everything just came together. It was like a perfect weekend.
Yeah,
man.
it was. I really felt the excitement like the entire weekend, and I feel like it's just because we all love it so much, and we're just fans of it. We're just fans of it all. Like the culture, the music, the craft. You know what I mean? And now the streaming and the engagement is just, you know, I really felt that, and I think all the viewers did too. And that's what, like you said, leaves that lasting impression. Like, you know, with everybody. Like, this was amazing.
Like, where are you going on a Sunday morning and getting chicken and waffles and hearing gospel house?
Yeah, that part.
Like I almost felt how mind-blowing that was to somebody. There were people that were listening that didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
Yes.
The genre.
I didn't know this existed. Like, I am dancing in my kitchen. I'm dancing in my kitchen. Oh my God! Like,
while cooking.
You know, but you know, when you think about it, 2 years ago, none of us were given that experience. None of us.
Comes back to that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You had 1,600 people watching you cook and host from your kitchen. You rocking. I mean, 1,500 people. Like, think if that was an actual
know how many people
physical space.
are gonna make chicken and waffles next Sunday?
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's making chicken and waffles
in their homes.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
same time. Oh, they're cooking.
Oh yeah, there was
While we're watching.
And see, that's another thing that I don't think people realize, that it took me a second to watch, because in the beginning when we first started streaming, everybody was quarantined, so no one was letting people over their house. Right. Now that they kind of loosened up, when you start looking and he got 8 people around the table and they're playing cards, you like, wait a minute, we are not just DJing for people to dance. We are not DJing for people to watch. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are like, yo, I'm cleaning out my garage and I'm listening to Melo-D.
Passing the time,
Right, and that's worth something to them. And again, it comes back to like providing people with a way to support you in exchange for that.
And
knowing who your listeners you're watching, knowing who's out there to support you and giving them an option too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And saying what's up to them at the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that acknowledgement. Yeah.
You know what's funny though with this whole, I've seen which is so beautiful, and I haven't seen it really we see it all the time in the physical, in the presence, right? But let me tell you something. As far as the fan perspective goes, or the listeners, or whatever you want to call them, I have never in my life seen so many people that has gotten discovered. Not the DJs or the artists, but the people that's in the chat room are now somebody.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, that's such and such to be on Twitch. Yeah. Oh, now I am hosting such and such's channel. Right. And these people are bringing people over to other people that I'm like, this is crazy.
Making friends amongst themselves.
Yes.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of people that have established identities, right?
Oh,
by living in the chat. Yeah.
People that talk and never seen each other in their life for 2 years.
Right.
Established a full-fledged relationship because of Twitch.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hear funny stories about people.
Oh yeah.
Kids, all that kind of stuff. We had this kid while listening to your stream. Really?
Listen, that's Mel, J, and Baby J on the stream.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like,
wow.
What's wild? We saw them.
Yeah.
Her pregnant.
Yeah, I know.
They had the baby shower on Zoom that we all attended.
Is this the Asian girl?
Yes.
The guy with the cap?
She had the baby, and Baby J has a Mad Mob onesie, and he's on the stream.
Wow. I seen that they were
like
the whole weekend. They were together the whole weekend.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. Man.
That was the one who had the baby and the one with the hat.
Yeah.
The kid with the hat. Yeah, it looks super young. Yeah, young couple.
Wow.
I mean, it's just you.
You're creating experiences.
And the access is crazy. The access is crazy because you got people all over the world that's kind of like, and what's crazy is we don't know where these people are from. Like you kind of get to know that this person is from here, this person is from here. I could tell, that, the people who have all of the Bay Area stuff on that where you are, you kind of get a sense, some of it, that it's kind of like, I'm streaming at 9 o'clock at night, but it's light, so I know you're on the West Coast. Then you got the people like Lil Funsters and Ian and Just Neil that are in the UK that are kind of like, all right, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. It's 5 a.m. here.
Right.
Like you that much of a trooper.
Yeah.
And then you guys, because you stream on the West Coast, you get a lot of people from Tokyo and
Australia.
That's why I always have to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah.
Because it's what's really what it is. Like, depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Yeah, that was something that I noticed with you guys too. Like when y'all did the Twitch last night, and I for whatever, I don't know why, I just jumped on the mic. It was like, yo, tell me where y'all are from and shout you out.
Carmen San Diego,
Australia.
how's your geography going? You know, like, yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah. Yeah, man. What a weekend. I don't know, man. I'm gonna get the FOMO back.
I'm still, taking it. I'm gonna take it all.
I know.
Yeah, take it all in, man.
Tomorrow when I'm on that plane out of here.
Yeah.
Can we look out the window extra long?
Yeah, thanks for putting all this together,
Jeff.
Yeah. Hell of a celebration, man.
Yeah.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. Exactly.
Thank you so much.
We got to figure out. We have to figure out when we're gonna do it in the summer.
I have a question though. Who's mad? Who? You didn't get like the why I didn't come calls yet?
Listen. Hey,
Well, you know what it is? It's your birthday.
Can you bleep stuff?
I got you.
Okay. It's a lot of motherfuckers.
It is. But you know what it is? It's your birthday, and I can't show anger on your birthday.
Absolutely.
But I guarantee you that this week coming up, you're gonna get the. You know, you should have called me. You should have. You know,
that goes back to the selfishness of people sometimes, man. And I'm not. It's not direct hitting at nobody. But at the end of the day, that was his birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
It was who he wanted on his birthday. So when it's your birthday, Short, you can do whatever you want to do.
Can't no one
And
tell you jack.
Mello, Skratch, like, come on, man. And that's the thing that really, that's the Leo that comes out of me that really pisses me off with people. Like, you're only in this for self gain.
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing was about him.
Yeah.
When it's my birthday and he played, he made it about me. Mm-hmm. And when we do stuff, so it's just one of those things. So to answer your question, there's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it's when you own your own club, not everybody gets in.
Yeah.
And that's it. When you own your own club, not everybody gets in.
That's it.
And I'm sorry.
It's not personal.
No.
This is not personal.
Not at all.
So I think if with this situation, like again, man, this will inspire people to do their thing and make it bigger. And you know, old saying, man, it's cliche, but iron sharpens iron.
All right, listen.
Iron
That's it.
Sharpens iron.
That's it.
So,
from the music to the, you know, and you know, it's I ain't really trying to go down that path, but you know, I've always said, you know, you've always had the collection of DJs that didn't like telling people what records they play, sharing files, and I've always looked at it like it's never the camera, it's the cameraman. It's never the equipment, it's the producer. It's never the records, it's the DJ. And it's kind of like, you know, there are people who think that this one record that I played that got this great response, if I give it to you, I gave away my power, which kind of goes back into that whole thing that you feel like that there's certain people that don't want to give up a certain amount of the control because they think that means that they're going to lose it. If you own 51% of a company, you still are the majority owner. You know, but there's some people that's like, no, I need to own 100%. If I give you one, oh man, I'm losing it. Yeah. You know, but it's just it really gets to that point. You know that this is your club, and you're inviting people into this space to do something that, you know, you're gonna have people that are gonna be mad, but you know you figure out when is the next time you want to do it. You know, who do you want on it? You said you're getting ready to put together the lineup for the second one. The first one was amazing, but it's just kind of like you get to curate that. Yeah. You know, that's not, you don't owe anybody anything, and you know, you got a fan base of people that you want to keep pleased. So I gotta pick the people who I think, you know,
I think it'd be a good fit or be entertaining or fun to watch. Like, same thing with the barbecue and with everything you put together, obviously.
Yeah. And also educate at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a great time to do it.
Yeah.
Great time to do it.
And you're right. Like, you're just, I think the audience, the majority, I think the folks that watch, you know, what we do, you know, musically, like they're more of a mature audience. You know, the folks that are at home, and it's perfect for them because they're never going out, never going out to a club.
No intention to pay for.
You could tell by
cover.
the garages.
You know what I mean? Like
they got nice garages. They got it all laid out.
The basements.
Basements. All I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And they get to hear all their jams. They don't have to go out and listen to 45 minutes of other stuff before.
You gotta wait till they.
Jeff goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, So, that's great. It's great.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
Hey, man. Thank y'all.
Salute,
this was beautiful.
It was. It really was. Yeah.
Thank you for the rum punch.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to the rum punch.
Shout out to the rum punch. Shout out to all the water I'm drinking the rest of the week. I'm like, man.
All right.
That was another lesson. You know, I am at the age that I can't do back to back to back.
No, we were laughing at each other this morning. Like, oh, man, back to back, okay, back to back.
Back to back to back.
Out, y'all.
Yeah, that was like, woo. And I like the fact that the audience is cool. Like you saw people, like Lynette was saying, like there was a bunch of the people that were in the Zoom that had their cameras off. Like I'm listening, but I got my head wrapped up. I'm in my robe because I was beat last night. It's like I get it. We all in the same gang.
Yeah.
We all taking off this week.
Sure is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man.
No, it takes a lot.
What's so dope about this is everyone has options right now. Like just being at home.
Yeah.
Like you can go club hopping.
Yeah.
Endless
rooms
of club hopping.
You could do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, but you could just be like.
You know, it's that's what I was saying. You know, it's not the records. It's who you are. It's what you do. How much confidence do you have in what you do and what you're playing and how you're presenting it to people. So it's like you enjoy it. You enjoy. It's funny. Every last one of us have played a record that made me remember the record that you played. And then it's kind of like, oh man, I need to expose some people to that.
Absolutely.
You know, I need to. You know, I never even considered doing a yacht rock set.
Right. Right.
You know, I was watching the movie, and you know, I love this music.
Yeah.
Dan kept like, oh man, you should do a yacht rock set. And it's like, all right, let me put this together, and did it, and it was like, you know, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. I know all of this music. I didn't even know what this was called.
Right. That's the whole thing.
That's crazy. That was the first time I think I ever heard of it.
It's one of my biggest nights on my streams out of all my games.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run that back.
Yeah, I told you that.
Yep.
I did a yacht rock party in Vegas. It was so successful.
We did a yacht rock cruise on that same boat.
Really?
Me and Scott, the one who's DJing Russell's party.
Scotty.
Yeah, me and Scotty did a yacht rock.
Yeah.
We did yacht rock.
You know what's crazy?
It's crazy.
I got a mix from Scotty that that's what gave me the idea. Scotty Fox. Russell gave me a mixtape, a bunch of Scotty Fox mixtapes, and it was nothing but yacht rock. And I was like, it's the greatest mixtape I ever heard. These are all of my favorite songs that I didn't know they were my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's wild.
And when I'm on the mic for that, I'm like, yo, shouts out all my AM radio kids.
Yeah.
You sit in the back seat of your parents' car.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you know
Right.
all this shit, like, yo, put some letters up in the room, like.
That's it.
Yeah, and just so into it, you know what I mean? Like.
But there's so much stuff that you can do like that, you know.
Yeah.
So many different genres of music, so many different periods that you can do. I did for Apple Music, I did a 1986, but they had a 1986 party.
Just the year?
And just a year, 1986 at South by. And I put together, everything in this folder was from 1986. And it was one of the dopest sets I did. Because you realize just how much stuff came out in 1986. And I was like, you could really do that. You could really do years. You could do, like, it's endless. It's endless.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me wanting to stream all the time, because I rotate all my shit, all my themes,
Mm-hmm.
and just like, it just gives people like the vibe of that night, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't keep it boring for me.
I mean, going back to streaming, that's what's great about it. Also, is the format's so wide open. Like
So
we can do
wide
these
open.
2-3 hour yacht rock sets that
Yep.
never pull that off at the Jazzy Jeff one night only. They're gonna want the Mob Deep in the
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. It's kind of like I almost feel like you want to. I am trying to re-educate the people that like what I do to what I'm doing to be able to do that when I go out.
Right. So it doesn't come as a shock.
Yeah. Like and I think which is a whole bigger conversation. I think you have to get to the point that when you go out, you're going out as you and not going out representing the club that you're playing.
Or being a jukebox.
You have to.
Like I'm very open. Like when I stream, I mean the last like 6 months maybe. Like when we get those, you get a new follower and I'll give them a shout out. Hey, thanks for the follow. Welcome. This is an open format channel. Like I really just play music that I like. I wake up one day and I feel like listening to old 80s alternative, The Cure and the Smiths, like we're gonna hear that, So just fasten your seatbelts, like
But just
take it all over the place.
That crowd that knows you for you, but then you're playing that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, Melo's into this.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's the best.
Just be honest with them. I think people they appreciate that transparency, like that authenticity. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, and it's still brand new, and it's like you said, like a very small cross section of the global DJ community that really dedicated themselves and took a deep dive like into this game, like So I wish like all of my DJ friends would have, but just it wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, that's the hard the hard thing that you can't save everybody.
There's so many of the close homies, DJ homies, I was trying to get into it, but they just couldn't grasp it, and and that's why I had to realize that okay, so maybe this is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, being on, I mean, at the same time, you gotta just keep that honest. Being on the internet at this point in time is like being on television.
Yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a show.
Interview. It's like someone is watching your delivery. They're watching like, is this guy an asshole?
Right.
Or is he cool?
Yeah.
Right.
And then then there's the ones that people get mad at. Damn, he has like a zillion people in his room, and he sucks as a DJ. But they're there for something, you know what I mean? And especially with the internet, like I said, it's special. You gotta know how to use it. You have to know how to use it. You have to. That's past. I mean, being who you are, we are who we are. You know what I mean? Like, we come to see you, but it's Jeff. Jeff is cool. Melo is cool. Bass is cool. Terry is cool. So, even if you decided not to even play no music that day, you'd be okay.
Yeah, because you got something else.
Versus others is just like...
Yeah, and I think that's what scares a lot of people sometimes.
Yeah.
Is like people thinking, oh, someone's going to come in and think I'm not cool.
Yeah.
They think they let them get the better of them sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's a telling sign that some of the sets that we did that we thought were going to be the most uncool were the coolest.
The best. The coolest.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So it's
Crazy.
You never know.
it's not, man, I don't know. I mean, everybody has their approach, and I'm just somebody that I'm kind of like, DJing is not about the person who's playing the music. It's the person who's playing the music, who you playing it for. And sometimes, it's real, especially being a open format or a turntablist, there is a give and take.
Yes, it is.
There is I'm doing it for you, I'm doing it for me, I'm doing it for you, I'm doing it for me, and it's understanding the times when to do it. It's having gigs that someone paid me a lot of money to do that I did not scratch one time because it wasn't for that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just understanding that there are people who can't do that.
Right.
There are people who just can't do that. I'm sorry. It's got to be about me. And I'm like, you know, that's why I'm like, listen, man, being a DJ, you're a servant of the people. You don't want to admit that. You're a servant of the people unless you DJing by yourself.
And for yourself.
You know? So it's just, I think it's just, my approach is, my job is to make people happy. Me making people happy makes me happy. So as long as I do my job, you know, now, you know, my job is to make the people happy that know what I do. You know, like I said, I'm a restaurant. I serve tacos. Don't come in here asking for a steak unless you want steak tacos, you know. But it's kind of like, I understand. My job is to make everybody that comes in my restaurant happy. Now, if you happen to stumble in my restaurant and you don't know what it is, you know, because you'll get those people, you know, you'll get those people that, you know, will, you know, play a such and such record, and you'll see people in the chat, which is really funny that, you know, we all have security guards in the chat. You got security guards that would just kind of be like, we don't do that here.
Come in here like that.
We don't, So, but I mean, you know, it's, you know, to me, that's a good thing. That's a sign that you have educated some people to know what this is. That you coming in saying something, I know what it is, so I can tell you that it's not that. Don't come here and do that. Right. So.
And that's community too, building and cultivating.
Oh, that community.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Cool. I know. Sometimes you gotta let them flow. Sometimes you see someone type something, you're like, "Oh, you gonna learn today."
Oh yeah.
I'll just leave that one alone.
There's times I go to type, and it's almost like, no, we got it.
Yeah.
We got it. It's kind of like, oh man, you done put them out the clown.
I flat foot cursed somebody out 2 weeks ago. So it came in, again, internet issues, wasn't no control. We had problems, and that's one thing about it. People are so forgiving, right? Yeah. But they were working on the internet that day, and I was just freezing. Sound was fine, just freezing up. This one guy came in the chat, was like, I've been hearing all this about you, and you can't even get your internet together So, the Leo and me, Turner, hold on. Before I can go off, my girl that moderates was like, oh, he's gone. And I'm looking.
Yeah, Ben.
Don't you come in here with that bush.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they let him have it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
wow,
this is dope.
And then it's bad because, you know, then you had the people that they're just spit out of Beach Street and just run to every club and write spit on the walls, you know, and you kind of know, you know what I mean? You kind of got to know, like, oh, okay, he's that guy. Right. Like, I'm not like somebody, security is gonna pick him up, move him out the club. We just not.
Everybody has their beehives.
Yes.
I mean, I found, and I assume and I hope it's been the same for all of us. Like, those instances have been very, very, very few.
Yes.
I mean,
they
less than 1%
past,
of the people that have come through. You know, and I think at the end of the day, like, those are just people that just, I mean,
trolls.
it's just that and just no common sense.
Yeah,
like, it's
trolls.
just like, why would you even, you would just, if you stop and thought about it logically, like, that has nothing to do with you. Clearly, that's an internet issue. Like, you know.
Yeah, but you get back what you put out. So if you're putting out positive stuff, you're gonna look like a real dick. Like, look at this guy being so positive.
Or you get the person that is screaming to you that Twitch has no sound. And I'm looking at Dan, and I'm looking at everybody else, and I'm like, yo, why don't you click the little button on the side of your phone to turn the sound on? You blaming me. Yo, I don't hear no sound, bro.
Everybody dancing. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Like this, he like.
Silent disco?
So it's just, you know, it's all of it, man. But this is great.
Yeah, man.
This is great.
Thank you,
It really
Jeff.
was.
I
Yes,
gotta
thank
get
you.
to bed and catch this flight.
Yeah, listen,
But,
me
Well,
too.
my flight's canceled.
Well,
Terry's here.
enjoy and sleep for me.
What time you leave?
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
You leave
flight
at
at
6.
6?
Your flight? Or,
No flight today.
Oh yeah, you're good.
I'm good. 6 a.m. car.
Gotcha.
But
All of y'all,
I'm 7:45.
7:45.
So
Sure, it's
okay,
the same.
who can we do right now before we leave? Because I know we wanted to do swaps. Can we do a Dropbox
yeah, absolutely.
with us? And that way, even just not even about now, but just
Yeah.
in the future, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That we
we
dropping
got-
music.
Well, I guess that's the group text has a whole bunch of people on it, but we could have a group text.
Yeah, let's do the Dropbox because it's a bunch of stuff that I need from you guys, and I want to give you
100%,
guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I made some folders on that for you, Jeff.
Oh shit.
Some of
Okay.
it you might have already, but I just
I mean, listen,
went
I
through stuff
don't-
and yeah.
Like I said, sometimes for me it's just having it all in the same spot. I don't mind having the same music.
Right.
You know, I mean, hopefully we will get to the point that one of these softwares will
Right.
be
Identify if
able
there's a
to just.
identify if there's a double or a duplicate.
I know there's programs like that. My only fear is that because the songs sometimes are the same, but they could be different versions.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And
I
that's
trust me.
the
I
only reason
I
why
use a
I'm
couple of
not
those
buying-
programs and it messed me up.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I haven't.
You know,
used them.
It's
I'm afraid of that. Like,
it's you need the
Yeah.
ones that will analyze the song, the
actual-
time,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like if I got War Galaxy, but I got 4 different versions, don't erase 3 of them for me.
Right. Right.
You know, you don't know the one I want to keep or the
Right.
one I don't.
Or
I'd
why
rather
where I'm keeping the 4 of them, the
Yeah.
3 of them, or whatever.
I,
Yeah.
So-
I wonder why they won't optionalize that, because that should be the option.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
That would be dope. Like, if they create that, it,
So that's you, Terry, right? 773.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How bear? What's
So
up?
how do we?
You want to eat?
I guess we just send each other's email and then one of us.
Yeah,
I mean, it's easy. You
Yeah,
can just
one person makes a Dropbox.
you can set up a Dropbox folder and just put the invite. Okay, Bear.
Jeff.
Melo, you 562.
Yes.